So now at this point, we're going to focus on solving inequalities as opposed to graphing the inequality on a number line. So let's say if we have this expression, x plus 4 is greater than 5. Let's solve for x. So whenever you want to solve for x, you need to get x by itself. Since 4 is added to x, to move the 4 to the other side, we need to perform the opposite of addition, which is subtraction. So let's subtract 4 from both sides. 4 minus 4 is 0. So what we have is x is greater than 5 minus 4, which is 1. So x is greater than 1. In interval notation, it's 1 to infinity. And you know how to graph it using a number line at this point. Now what about this one? How would you solve for x if you're given this equation? What's the first thing that you would do? The first thing that we should do is add 5 to both sides. By the way, feel free to pause the video as you work out these examples and then unpause it to see the solution. Negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. So now what's our next step? How can we separate the 3 from the x? Since 3 is multiplied by x to separate, you need to perform the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So we need to divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So on the left side we have 1x, or simply x. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. So this is our answer. X is less than 1. In interval notation, we can write it as negative infinity to negative 1 in parentheses. Try this problem. 7 minus 2x is less than or equal to 12. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to subtract 7 from both sides. So what we have left over, negative 2x is less than or equal to 12 minus 7, which is 5. Now to get x by itself, we need to divide both sides by negative 2. Now whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number, the inequality is going to change direction. So we have a less than symbol, but now it's going to be a greater than symbol. So x is equal to or greater than negative 5 over 2, which is the same as negative 2.5. So in interval notation, the answer is from negative 5 over 2 to infinity. If you graph it on a number line, let's say this is 0, negative 2.5 would be somewhere to the left. So we would have a closed circle and we would shade to the right side. Now what if we have variables on both sides? 4 minus 2x is equal to or greater than 3x plus 19. How can we solve for x in this particular example? So there's many ways you can approach this problem, but first let's subtract both sides by 4. So 19 minus 4 is 15. Now what we could do is subtract both sides by 3x. We need to get x on one side of the equation. Negative 2x minus 3x is negative 5x. Adding or subtracting by a negative number will not reverse the sign of the inequality. You need to multiply or divide by a negative number. So at this point, if we divide both sides by negative 5, the direction of the inequality is going to change. So instead of being greater than or equal to, it's now less than or equal to negative 3. So this is the answer. So what is the answer using interval notation? So x is less than or equal to negative 3. So it's from negative infinity and it's going to stop at negative 3. If you plot it, let's say this is 0. Here's negative 3, and we have a closed circle at this point. And since x is less than or equal to negative 3, we need to shade to the left side. So it's from negative infinity to negative 3. Here's another one for you. This time, this equation is going to have parentheses. So go ahead and try this one. The first thing I would recommend doing is distributing the number in front of the parentheses. So in the first example on the left, let's distribute the 2. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 3, that's positive 6. And if we distribute the 4, 4 times 2x is 8x. And 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. And then let's add like terms. 5 plus 6 is 11. And 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So now at this point, let's add 1 to both sides, and simultaneously let's add 2x to both sides. So negative 1 and 1 will cancel, and the same with 2x. 11 plus 1 is 12. 8 plus 2, that's 10. So 12 is greater than 10x. So at this point, to get x by itself, we'll need to divide both sides by 10. So 12 divided by 10 is greater than x. Now we can reduce the fraction if we divide by 2. Let me write it the other way. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Half of 10 is 5. So 6 over 5 is greater than x, or we can write it as x is less than 6 over 5. If you switch the left side and the right side, you need to reverse the direction of the inequality. Consider this problem. 3 over 2x is less than negative 9. What is the answer for this? What's the first thing that you would do to solve this particular inequality if you have a fraction? The first thing I would do is try to clear away the fraction. Notice that we have a denominator of 2. So I'm going to multiply the left side and the right side by 2. So looking at the left side, 2 times 3 over 2 is 3. The 2's will cancel. You can also say 2 times 3 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so you still end up with 3. On the right side, negative 9 times 2 is negative 18. So now all we got to do is divide both sides by 3. So x is less than negative 6. And as an interval notation, that means x is between negative infinity to negative 6, but it does include negative 6. Let's try another example with fractions. 1/3 x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 8. So in this example, let's subtract 4 from both sides. So 1/3 x is greater than or equal to 8 minus 4, which is 4. Now let's multiply both sides by 4. I mean, not by 4 actually, by 3. So the 3's will cancel. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we have 1x on the left side. On the right side, 4 times 3 is 12. So x is equal to or greater than 12. So it's from 12 to infinity. Try this problem. 5 over 4x minus 2 is less than or equal to 3 over 2x plus 1/3. So now what would you do if you have many fractions? For a problem like this, you want to clear away all the fractions. Consider the denominators of 4, 2, and 3. What is the least common multiple of 2, 3, and 4? Multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and so forth. Multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. The least common multiple is 12. 2, 3, and 4 can go into 12. So therefore, we want to multiply both sides by 12. So you want to multiply everything in this equation by 12. So what is 12 times 5 over 4x? If you multiply 5 over 4 by 12, what do you get? So you can do 5 times 12, which is 60, and then divide by 4, which is 15. Or you could divide first and then multiply. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. So 5 over 4x times 12 is 15x. So we no longer have a fraction at that point. Now we can multiply 12 by negative 2, which is negative 24. And then 12 times 3 over 2x. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18, so we have 18x. And for the last one, 12 times 1/3 is the same as 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So now we can add 24 to both sides, and at the same time we can subtract 18x from both sides. So these will cancel. On the left, 15 minus 18, that's negative 3. And on the right side, 4 plus 24 is 28. So now we just got to divide both sides by negative 3, which will change the sign of the inequality. So our answer is x is greater than or equal to negative 28 over 3.